Beautiful day here so far in Wellington. It's nice and cool, but as you can see I'm sweating. That's because I've obviously just put walking a lot. Done probably more walking in the last 2 days than I've done in the last 6 months, and it's not been easy walking. I really do love New Zealand. It's a great place, but I wish now I'd visited here many years ago before being unable to get around easily enough. As I keep saying, I really do love New Zealand, and Wellington is a great town. My only real complaint now is with the shipping companies and the tour companies. We're like over 2 kilometres from where the boat was in. We had to catch a special bus from the ship, which took us to Parliament House, which is still 2 kilometres from where I'm sitting now. And then we've had to walk all this way, which, look, if I was a fit person and not with a wheelchair and busted hips, I probably wouldn't have had a problem with it. But it's just unbelievably, incredibly a long distance, and like the cruise ships and the tour companies know where we're going, so why deliberately go out of their way to make sure you can't get there or drop you off there? And it's crazy. And I will say this though, the people are friendly, really friendly. Everyone's just nodding and saying hi. Yeah, so it's good. Back home in Australia, we have this thing where people say, oh, where do you live? Or where's this place? We say, oh, just down the road. And just down the road can be anywhere from 2 houses down to 100 k's to the next state. New Zealand's version of that is, oh, it's just there. And that's what they said about where the information centre was. It's just there, and it was like 2 k's. And the rest of the party's gone up to get a drink and something to eat because there's a cafe just there. I don't trust just there. Just had a nice chat with 2 locals who really went out of their way to tell me, like, I wanted to know if they had taxis here, and they've pointed out where the taxi ramp is. And we were just talking about how I got to here, and I just walked from the Parliament House type thing. And she said, "Oh, no. You going on a tour?" And I said, "Yeah, we're going out to Hobbiton." "Oh, the shuttle just leaves from there." I said, "Yeah, I know." And she said, "Well, we used to have the shuttles come up into town, but as you can see, it's a construction site." And I just laughed because it's the world's most neatest construction site. I said, "I'll take you back to Australia and I will show you construction sites." But no, so no, people are quite friendly here. Yeah, it's just, again, it's just my health, that's all. There's a street fair there, and I would really like to go and have a look, but I'm just knackered. I love street markets and street fairs. You always find interesting stuff there. Got a lot of food trucks, which is good. I do like this place. I really do like New Zealand. I just wish I'd come here when I was younger.
Great place to spend a couple of hours to learn about New Zealand history and culture. There are 6 floors of exhibits in there, so it's good to be picky and choosy about what you want to go and see. The last one I went and saw there was the Gallipoli exhibition. Fantastically done. Weta Workshop actually made the huge, big, hyper life-size figures. We had red carpet going all the way back to that last set of traffic lights there. Glorious sunny day, throngs of people, 20 deep. And really put the New Zealand film industry on the map. Overnight, for the start of each of those 3 Lord of the Rings movies, Weta Workshop installed some really large figures on the front and on top of the building. One morning I found a huge cave troll standing there swinging a warhammer above his head. For the two towers there was Gollum reaching for the one ring that was dangling over the road. And then for Return of the King they'd put two giant fell beasts up on top of the theatre. And must have been something. Not often we see the harbour so calm. Windy Wellington, as we know. It's the Miramar Peninsula where we're going over on our left now. It's from the north end here all the way down south past the airport. It used to be an island in the middle of the harbour and was actually Maori legend holds that it's Maui's fish hook with which he pulled the North Island up out of the sea. In 1840, early settlers drilled a hole through the hillside, drained the lagoon to make farmland. Then in 1855 we had our biggest earthquake here, which uplifted the whole area by some meters and actually joined it onto the mainland. In this area here is where we sometimes get little blue penguins crossing the road at night.
Oh, wow.
During winter they come up from the sub-Antarctic islands and nest up in the hills here and under people's houses. Most nest further on the other side of the harbour in Eastbourne, or on Soames Island in the middle of the harbour, or the north. We usually get a little bump here. This is monorail. They were built, they actually had a guy on the hill with a walkie-talkie radioing down to tell them when to stop filming. Ahead is the blue screen where actors will perform scenes in front of and then backgrounds are added later. And that's 4 shipping containers high and stretches all the way around. So you can get some quite large structures in front of that. Usually it's a hive of activity. There'd be lighting people going back and forth, lots of caravans for the hairdressers, makeup artists, dressmakers for fixing. And he's leasing it to James Cameron to film Avatar 3. But again, he's on hold for now until all the actors come back. The character Treebeard in The Lord of the Rings, he was based on these Pahutakawa trees, and I think the reason is this one here on our right. You see some of them grow these big clumps of aerial roots that actually look like beards. Just on our left here, this blue building is one of our real gems out this way. This is the Roxy. First built in 1937, Art Deco style cinema. Did a small stint as a shopping court from 1964 right up until 2011 when it was bought by the directors of the Weta Cave who restored it. 2 picture theatres, restaurant, cafe and bar, models on display that were made at the Weta workshop. The piece de resistance is a huge sci-fi themed painted ceiling upstairs from maybe the Flash Gordon era, and the artist has cleverly incorporated all the little air extractors and smoke detectors into the design of the painting itself. On our left here is a purpose-built facility in 2005. It's called Park Road Post-Production. This is where they do all the final editing for the movies that come out of the Stone Street studios.
Okay.
big complex is all the way back to the hillside there. Peter Jackson has his office in here when he's in town. And this is the Weta workshop here. This is where all the props and models, costumes and creatures for a myriad of TV shows and movies are made. Your tour will come round from the front and in through the red door here. And then, if you could please make sure you got everything with you. If you could follow me round here just into the cave on the left. It's a bit of time before your tour starts, but I'm on a bit of a tight schedule. So we'll go in, I'll get you your tour tickets, explain a little bit about when and where it will start, and what time we'll be back to pick you up and get back into town again.
Back on board, a little less stressful. We caught a taxi back to the boat. I've just decided to have a drink down here at the bar, but they gave me a can so I can finish it off. Wellington is a nice place, but they need to work this system out, dropping people off 2 k's from where they're going to be picked up for their next trip. It's crazy. Weather was good, but unfortunately what I wanted to buy is coming soon, on order. Well, as much as I would love to come back and pick it up, I'm not going to. Anyway, I'm going to finish my drink. If there's one thing about a cruise ship that never gets mentioned enough, it's that you do a lot of walking. And that's on board ship. But, yeah, we're having dinner up outside Luke's Burger Bar. Apparently Luke is some TV chef.
So what is how far?
Bye.